We turn now to a young and increasingly powerful militia leader sitting on billions and billions of dollars of oil in eastern Libya. Ever since the fall of dictator Muammar Gaddafi, elected leaders have struggled to unify the country. And today, perhaps no one illustrates those post-war woes better than 32-year-old Ibrahim al-Jadran. In 2012, he was entrusted by the government with guarding Libya's crucial eastern oil ports. But last July, he went rogue, seizing the ports and demanding more autonomy and shared revenues for the eastern region, which he calls by its ancient Roman name, Cyrenaica. The government has issued warrants for his arrest. I spoke with him in an exclusive interview just hours ago. Ibrahim Jadran, welcome to the program. Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome, Madam Christian.
Mr. Jadran, the government says that you are wanted on at least 2 criminal charges. They say that there are the charges of using weapons and arms to blockade economic installations that belong to the state, and the theft or the attempted theft because you've been trying to sell these what they call illegal shipments of oil. They say that they will use force if necessary to make sure that this situation ends.
أولاً نؤكد أن الحكومة غير قادرة حتى على حماية
First of all, I'd like to emphasize that the government is not able to defend itself. We gave them 3 years to rebuild the institutions, but they were not able to do that or to secure the average citizen. This is a government whose prime minister was kidnapped. How could it secure or start the offensive of anything? This is a government of corruption and a government that's accused of all types of corruption. This government has allowed Libya to become one of the most corrupted 5 states in the world, and would like to emphasize that such a government is not able to use force, and as far as we are concerned, we are able to use force and protect ourselves and protect the food of Libyans. The real solution here is fair distribution of wealth and fair distribution of decision-making to activate the federalism, the real federal system, an administrative federal system for all 3 provinces of Libya, and to build a government which takes care of the rebuilding of army and the building of police and the financial aspects. You accuse this government of corruption and you say that it can't defend itself. Don't you see the irony, and do you accept responsibility for being one of those who have helped create the chaos, one of those who have refused to enter into a central government, one of those who have decided to have your own militia and do your own thing? How can that be good for the future of a united and stable country?
أولاً بالنسبة لنا نحن كنا من ضمن هذه الحكومة إلى أن ثبت.
We used to be part of that government until corruption became so visible and the government started to sell oil without measuring units. And after we became certain that such a government is not credible and unable to rebuild the state, that's why we declared independence of our province and we started to seek our fair rights. Meantime, the oil revenue has been plummeting. Your country is losing billions of dollars in oil revenue, and you cannot get this oil out because other countries, other companies won't do business with you, and so far you haven't managed to export this oil. The Libyan Navy, the Libyan government such as it stands, has already fired warning shots to get one of the oil tankers that was coming towards your ports to move and to not dock and to not take on any oil.
أولاً بالنسبة للبحرية الليبية لا توجد بحرية ليبية.
First of all, there is no Libyan Navy.
البحرية غير قادرة
because
على حماية نفسها.
The Libyan Navy and the Libyan army are not capable of defending themselves. The incident that you just mentioned, we don't have any information about that. Who will you find to buy the oil that's in the eastern province? Who are the buyers?
ليس لدي تفاصيل. التفاصيل لدى المكتب.
I cannot disclose details. The details are kept by the executive Bureau of the Cyrenaica province, they are the ones who have the details.
Mr. Jadran, as you know, there is a lot of concern about the influx of Islamists, of militants, of terrorists into Libya, with all the chaos that's going on. What is your relationship with the Islamists? What position do you take?
نحن كلامنا واضح من البداية. قلت لك نحن من الأسباب.
As we said clearly from the beginning, we said that one of the reasons why we stopped the oil export is that oil has become a method to finance those organizations. We will not allow those groups to take a safe haven in Libya and allow Libya to become another Iraq and another Syria or Afghanistan. We are aspiring to a state of institutions and law and order. A state of prosperity and human rights. We will not allow Libya to become a safe haven for international terrorism. We will not allow this to happen at all.
Now, Mr. Jadran, you have claimed that you have your own army, something like 17 or 20,000 fighters. Is that really true? There are many people, including the Libyan government and outside experts, who simply can't believe that that's true.
حقيقة هذا الرقم صحيح. يوجد لدينا ما يقارب.
The truth is this number is true. We have about 23,000 troops. We have navy troops. We have army. And as far as paying salaries to them, we are about to start exporting oil so that we could pay the salaries.
Can you try to be specific on who is funding you and where you are getting your money from?
إلى الآن ليس لدينا تمويل إلا من رجال الأعمال.
Until now, we don't have any finance coming except from businessmen who believe in our cause.
منذ 5 أشهر
For the last 4 or 5 months, 5 months actually, our soldiers have not been paid their salaries, but because they believe in their cause, they are still committed to it. And that's why they are taking and persevering.
رجال الأعمال الذين يحملون معنا.
We have no source of finance except the businessmen who share the belief that we have in our cause, which is to secure the rights of the Libyan citizen in Cyrenaica.
So how long can this continue if you have very little finance right now? And you'll probably run out.
نحن عازمين على تصدير النفط.
We are determined to export oil in order to secure finance for the military, the police, and the administration, particularly the troops that protect the oil facilities. We will do that in the near future.
Ibrahim Al-Jadran, thank you very much for joining me.
شكرا سيد.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And just a note, it is of course customary for us, for any new organization, to pay for satellite connections with our interviewees. But Mr. Jadran controls the bureau from where he was interviewed, and he refused our repeated entreaties to pay.